What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. I'm just gonna go right into this one, but I do want to say that in 6 days from now, just 6 days from now, YouTube is going to start mass deleting channels, and I bring that up because you might have been hearing us say for a while now that our channels could be targeted. Now, hopefully, that doesn't happen to our channels. That's why we've been trying to make extra precautions to ensure that that doesn't happen. But because of that, that's why I've been asking some of you guys if you do truly support my channel to come over to the Patreon. It's only $2 per month. I try to keep the price as low as possible because I know people have bills. But on the Patreon, and we will talk about stuff I can't talk about on YouTube anyway: politics, social issues, controversial topics, things that are important to you and us. You know what I'm saying? You should know what I mean by that when I say things are important to us that I can't talk about on YouTube. All right, so if you rocks with this channel, please come over to the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? I think you'll like what's over there. I think it's well over 50 videos now on the Patreon. All right, so let me talk about this with James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Now, look, I'm not going to sit there and act like other players haven't had games like that before, where they've taken that many shots and have shot terrible. Um, I I remember Allen Iverson maybe having a game shooting, 11 or 31 or something like that. Um, I can remember some guys having games like that. I remember it's a game etched in my memory, man. I've referenced it before, and it was really really early in the Bulls' last season together. The championship Bulls, 97, 98, and they were playing the Spurs, and the Bulls were at home, and everybody on the Bulls shot like absolute dog shit. Um, a lot of it had to do with the fact that they were playing against the front line of Dave Robinson, who was back from the injury that made him miss the whole 96, 97 season. And because he was injured and the Spurs had such a horrible record, they were able to acquire Tim Duncan. And Tim Duncan was a rookie. So that defensive presence inside, plus with the fact that they didn't have Scottie Pippen, Pippen was out, that first half of the season with the back injury. Though I do think he stayed a little bit longer to make a point to management about being underpaid. It's just a speculation there. But yeah, everybody shot like shit, man. Everybody. Jordan shot 12 for 39 from the floor. The only difference is it was kind of justified in Jordan's uh, shot jacket because he didn't have anybody else really to help him, and nobody else was making any shots. Kukoc, nobody. Rodman, nobody. Kerr, everybody was off. And but Jordan made every crucial basket that the Bulls needed. Even though he missed 27 out of 39 shots, the 12 shots he didn't make, all of them were critical baskets. Every time the Bulls actually needed a bucket to tie or a critical basket, including the basket to go into overtime because they were down three in overtime, Jordan would make it. And ultimately they won in overtime. So that situation was different. With this situation with Houston and the San Antonio Spurs is Houston blew a 22-point lead. Okay. Also, Clint Capella was 9 and 9 from the floor. If you got a guy that's going like that, why not give him the ball more? I think Tiki was saying another guy was 6 or 8 or something like that. Why not give these guys the ball more? Obviously, without LaMarcus Aldridge down there, these guys were having some success. I don't understand. This is why I'm not even going to go at James Harden as hard in this video as I normally do, because it's bigger than James Harden. Even though I think James Harden is a is the most selfish basketball player I've ever seen in my life. Maybe the most selfish athlete ever. But what they're doing ultimately falls on Mike D'Antoni. He's allowing this. He's allowing this. I mean, fine. If people like people that sit there and shoot the ball to play for stats, solely play for stats, and they think it's a remarkable, incredible, or all that, fine. You know, I don't see it. I don't see it, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Kobe's had stretch where he had the 9 games of 40 points or more. You know what I'm saying? Jordan earlier in his career had stretches like that. Iverson had stretches. But the difference is, if you watch the games, if you watch these actual games, these guys were number one, it was justified. With Kobe, Shaq was out. Number one. Number two, this is when Kobe was still kind of establishing himself as a true all-star, a true superstar, actually, in the league. This is when Kobe was 20, I believe he was 24. Okay. James Harden is 30. By the time Kobe was 30 years old, he had already shown what he could do individually. He had already moved to the point where he was concerned about championships. He could score as many points as he wanted to, but he realized that he could not win titles jacking up 35, 40 shots a night. Yeah, he will look brilliant individually, but ultimately that shit's not going to work, especially in the playoffs. Mike, when he was with the Pistons, excuse me, not playing with the Pistons, when he was playing against the Pistons, that's when he started figuring out, right then and there, when he was being coached by Phil Jackson, I got to get other people involved. Yeah, I keep thinking, what I'm saying, they can't stop me. I don't trust my teammates. But ultimately, he started trusting guys like Scottie Pippen. He started trusting guys like Horace Grant. He started feeling confident that, that John Paxson can knock down that open 20-footer open 3-pointer. He started later on feeling confident in BJ Armstrong. He didn't have that confidence in guys earlier on with the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? He learned how to play off the ball. He learned not to dominate the ball as much. He learned how to score in other ways. And that made Michael Jordan an even better basketball player. By the time Jordan was 30, he had already won 3 championships and he wasn't playing as much. He had pretty much given up on just trying to put up numbers. Yeah, you know, time and again, yeah, they would have a statement game. Somebody call them out, or they might say, "Oh, this guy can't really score anymore." You know, he's a con man. Oh, he's just a jump shooter. Or well, Kobe. Yeah, Kobe's getting old. Yeah, I don't know if he do it. Yeah, they might have a statement game. They might sit up there and drop 40 or 50 as a statement game. Or if they get hot, what I'm saying, their jumper's falling. Yeah, they might have a 45, 50, 55 point game. But it came within the flow of the offense for the most part. Okay? Yeah. If they saw they had 47, maybe they might shoot a three to get 50. Yeah. But this is so egregious what these guys are doing. And let me get at Russell Westbrook for a second, too. Russell Westbrook, for the most part, has shown this season that up until last night, that he can play a team orientated game. He wasn't forcing triple doubles. He wasn't playing for stats. You know what I'm saying? The triple doubles that he were getting would come within the offense. It was James Harden who was ball hogging. Last night, Russell Westbrook said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go for mines too." James Harden was really trying to get a 30-point triple double if he didn't shoot so bad last night. But you know what I'm saying? So Russell deserves criticism too. The shit that I find mind blowing is collectively these dudes missed 50 fucking shots. 50. I cannot recall a game where two stars combined for 70 shots, damn near, and missed 50 shots. I'm pretty sure maybe Shaq and Kobe might have come close to that. Maybe. But they damn sure didn't miss 50 shots. How can you win like that? How can you win like that? This team is not going to go anywhere, man. I'm very disappointed in the Houston Rockets, man, because I thought that these two guys would show that they could play selfless basketball. But that's not the case. And I'm been a big, huge supporter and defender of Russell Westbrook. I can't defend what I saw last night. That was stat pad. James Harden, forget about it. You already know what he's about, man. You know what I'm saying? I know some people be like, "Oh man, Mike, when he shot well the last game, you still criticize it because he's stat padding, man. That's egregious stat padding. If you want me to use a better term, egregious in your face. You're in a fucking game where you're up 40 points and you're still chucking the ball. There's nothing impressive about that. See, the record that he broke for fewest shots for 60 points, Karl Malone, they beat the shit out of Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, the shit out of Milwaukee Bucks. But Karl Malone came out of that game, I think at the beginning of the fourth quarter or late in the third, with 61 points because the lead had blown open to 20 points and he came out. And ultimately, they won like by 30 points or something like that. But it's insulting to the opponents to have your star in there padding his numbers. I don't know. Maybe I just look at shit differently than some people do, but it's not impressive. I'm envisioning myself being the opponent and how I would feel with a guy being in the game where we're already down by fucking 40 points. That shows you the difference in mentality with guys today. I would be, first of all, it's bad enough that my team is down by 40 points. 40! I'd be fuming. But then to have a guy going for 60 points in a game like that, man, it's fisticuffs about to flare off, man. What the fuck is wrong with these dudes? I don't know what's wrong with this generation, man. No competitive fire at all. All I know is, look, if you're a Rockets fan, I don't know how. You have to be a Harden fan because I've even noticed that Houston Rockets fans are growing a little weary of this system with Mike D'Antoni. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a fan of the Houston Rockets, it's one thing to have James Harden when he's averaging 28, 29, 30. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying that, yeah, he was leading scoring, but they still had other guys getting involved. Now it's a guy who's obviously now, as we can see, he's trying to average 40 points. He's trying to break the modern, quote unquote, modern record of Jordan from 86, 87. He's trying to become only the second man in NBA history to average 40 points in the season, which at the rate he's going, he's probably going to do because he's constantly going out there trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think now Russ is going to be like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start playing for my numbers too. And, you're going to have a guy come out here trying to get triple doubles every night. And it's just, it's not like Ticky said, this isn't even, they're not being coached. What system is out there? Mike D'Antoni has to be the fucking worst coach other than Steve Kerr. And even with Steve Kerr, at least the Rockets, the Warriors have been competing a little bit, even though they're losing. So he's closed the gap with that. But Mike D'Antoni is not a fucking coach, man. He's proven that he can create great regular season teams, but in the playoffs, time and time again, these fuckers get fucking exposed. And it's going to happen. James Harden has shot 47 free throws, I think, in the last 2 games, and he still was crying about non-calls. Still whining and complaining. Still bitching and moaning. Cries when he gets taken out of the game when he has 60 points. Cries when he didn't get a foul call, for a 3-point attempt. This dude is a fucking whiner, man. This dude wants to take 40 shots. He wants to yak up 23s, and he wants 30 free throw attempts every fucking night. If he doesn't get it, he fucking cries. He's a ugh. Mark my words. One game this season is all going to come together for James Harden. He's going to have a game where he's yakking up this many shots, but they're going to go in. They're going to go in, and he's going to get 20-something free throws, and he's going to shoot like 14 or 20 from the three-point range, and he's going to have 80-something points. Because I do believe he's trying to break that 81-point mark, which is like seen as the modern record. The record is really Wilt's, but a lot of people, we consciously remember that 81-point game. And I think James Harden is trying to break that mark, too. Like I said, he plays for numbers and stats. Yeah, guys, to an extent, play for numbers. A lot of these guys have contract incentives where if they can get 2,500 points or 2,000 points, they get an additional $500,000 or additional that. I remember reading how Mitch Richmond had an incentive in his contract where if he can yak up 1,500 shots, he would get an extra $50,000 or some shit like that. So yeah, a lot of these dudes, all these guys are conscious of their numbers. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. But to an extent, only to an extent. And also the guys who who do play for their numbers, at least back in the day, those guys got called out for that shit. I remember Jimmy Butler just last year. It ain't just fucking me or Ticket. Jimmy Butler called out his teammates for the Minnesota Timberwolves, saying he was playing for numbers and stats. And he's not about that. And Jimmy Butler don't play for his numbers because Jimmy Butler can one day drop 52 points on you, and then the next day he can give you 15, but he playing exceptional defense. He does whatever it takes to fucking win. Some dudes play for numbers. There's no guy that plays for numbers more than these two dudes. And don't get me wrong. I like Russell Westbrook, but I don't like what I saw last night. You know what I'm saying? And they lost to a team that didn't even have their best player in LaMarcus Aldridge. Yacking up threes can look good when they're going in, but when they don't go in and you don't, adjust or, I don't know, man. I just don't see this team winning. And their defense sucks. So the only way this team is going to make it to the NBA Finals, they're going to have to be on fire every fucking game. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to be on fire for 4 out of 7 games in 3 straight series to make it to the finals. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? And most likely James Harden is going to get the same type of calls in the playoffs that he got in the regular season. So the 50, 60 points is going to be more like 30 or 40 points. So I don't know. It is what it is, man. But this team, it sucks to watch them, man. It sucks. And it can't be fun playing with these dudes. And you got all these other guys just fucking standing around, watching 2 guys shoot the air out the fucking ball. And then you want to give these, then when it comes time in the playoffs, these guys ain't never get no real touches or been in these situations where they have to make key buckets. And then people gonna be like, oh, well, how did Eric Gordon miss this shot? Or how did Clint Capella miss this layup? Because niggas never fucking get the ball in those situations. Now you got all this fucking pressure on him. Oh, I can't miss. Hope I don't miss. Please don't let me miss.